Good afternoon. This is Shella D. Bridgman, and welcome to the Shella D. Bridgman Show. And this is my testimony. I hope you guys are well today. It's about 12 in the afternoon where I'm at, and it is the 16th, October 16th, the 16th day of our challenge. And I keep saying we're halfway through. We're halfway through, really halfway through. I hope you're doing it with me. And today's a good day. I got off this morning, 8 o'clock. And instead of going directly and doing the video, because the weather is pretty calm right now, it's not, the sun isn't glaring, I went ahead and did some shopping this morning because my day off is, well, when I get off tomorrow morning, I'll be off, and I wanted to do some more productive stuff instead of shopping. So, yeah, I went and did that, and it went well. I got a nice salesperson, someone that wanted to help me, and that felt good because the guy that stopped and asked me if I needed some help, I had to go ahead and accept his offer, but I was trying to steer him to someone else, but he was going to help me, but I knew I could feel that he didn't want to help me. And sure enough, as the lady and I were talking, I had decided what I was going to buy, and I could hear him talking, saying she needs to make up her mind what she's going to do, and he was just really kind of rude, so I knew I didn't want him to help me, so it worked out. So I feel so good about that. Made my purchases I'm very happy with, and all is well. So it's a little warm here in the car. I don't want to roll down the window because then stuff happens. You can hear too much of the noise. What, something I said, I realized, I don't realize this when it's warm. I said that I realized that I should share the details. This recording, you see, I'll have to take a breath, right? I have to gather myself. These recordings that I make here, I also did with the class that I have online, right? And so all of the time that it took me, I started in 2020 trying to put that together, trying to figure out what to teach, how to organize it, and also what to use and how to put the whole thing. Somebody just drove right up next to me, and you got all these other parking spaces. So this is what I mean. And I know you can hear that truck going by, but I'm hot. So so in 2020, you can hear the alarm. I apologize. In 2020, I said I wanted to teach a class. And it took all of that time to figure out how to get it recorded. Everything that I needed. I ended up doing it essentially the way I'm doing this now. That's how I'm able to do it, because I did it with how I taught my class. Everything is exactly the same how the class is set up. And so even with the music is the same. So that's how, once I decided to do this, I just said, oh, okay, I already know how to do it. I didn't have to start from scratch. But it took years to figure out what to use and how to get it done. And of course, I did it all on my own. I did everything on my own. I did my website. I created that myself. I told you how I took the picture for the book. Everything. I did it myself. So I can remember, what is his name? Orson Welles. I think it was Orson Welles did an interview, and he was saying about film. He said with film, see, I told you I'm always looking to learn. And he said it was like actually on PBS. It was somehow the interview was on PBS. That's like my favorite channel. And so he was doing this interview, and he was saying that with film, the thing about film is once you make a movie, it's done. It's a wrap, right? It's there forever, that film. He said, but when you're writing a book, you can always make changes. And so that was something that I heard along the way to help me with knowing that perfection was not the goal. Do the best you can, because when you're creating something, well, that's my thing. You want it to be perfect, right? You want it to be perfect. So you keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, and you have to know when to walk away. You have to know when to walk away when it's done, when it's, So that's why I read it and read it and read it and read it and read it. And the thing about reading it is it's just a story. It's written from journals, chronological order. It starts from kind of like I think it ends. Oh shoot, I shouldn't, I don't remember. The ending of my marriage. The ending of my marriage. That's when it starts. The ending of my marriage. And so, everything that I did after that, actually when I was in graduate school too, and how that impacted me being in graduate school, and how I had to put myself back together and keep my life going and make all those decisions. And then I was teaching, and so I was teaching in a community that I grew up in, and so back then I was smoking cigarettes. So I smoked the cigarettes. You can't, when it's time for lunch, your lunch break or something, you can't go to your car and smoke a cigarette when you're on a school campus with middle school kids. So I know you can hear the noise. So, and if you're drinking, you go into the store, and the little kids, well, they're not little kids, but they see you buying a fifth of Jack Daniels. Not that that's what I drank, but that's impactful also. So all of that helped me to stop doing those things. But so yeah, I read the book a million times for the editing process, because I did everything, like I said. And so it just if you don't look at the dates, it just reads as a story. It's a story. And so that's how I said that's what this is too. I'm sharing different things with you every day. Different things are going on, but it's my story. If you put it all together, it's just a story. Not just a story, but it's my story in my own voice. So everything is good. Tonight when I go to work, it is my Friday night, so that makes me use up energy today, because I feel like I only have to make it through tonight. Like I said, able to go out and make some purchases, because I'm still trying to put myself back together, and joy is not bad. Few purchases with a little joy attached, that's not bad. You gotta do that too. You gotta do what you gotta do, but some of it, you need to do what you want to do too. So did a little bit of that this morning. My little guy is fine. He's back there. I had to take his pillow from him, because that pillow actually makes him really warm. You know what I learned about him? This is so funny. If you come at him with aggression, he will give that back to you. When I try to bluff him, so to speak, and say, you better give me that pillow, he will come back at me with aggression. He will, pull at it, and we got to fight. But if I say, oh, mommy's going to give the baby his pillow back later. Oh, mommy needs to take the pillow because you're too hot, he'll give it to me. I think that is so funny that that's just the way he is. When I try to bluff him to make him do something, he reacts with aggression. He has an attitude. But if I talk to him and I said, oh, mommy, something. If I'm nice to him, he loves socks. He sees the socks, He sees a cotton ball, it's going to be in his mouth. He can see it. He'll go off and do something, and then you don't see it because you're not thinking about it, and he'll run up and he'll have that sock, and you're like, man, this dude, you know, and if you're on the wrong side of things, he would be a great partner for you, but he's something else. So, but when I say, you know, I'm always trying to get my socks, I bought some new socks because a little hole is just not okay when you go on to work, right? So I bought some new socks, but because he and I turned down the wrong street and we started having certain little problems, he put holes in my socks. So I had to buy more new socks. So now, you know, we're at another level. When you touch my socks, it's really trouble because I can't keep buying socks. And I can't walk around with a hole in my socks at work because then people really think I have a problem, right? So when I say to him really nicely, oh, please give mommy the sock. You know, when I talk to him, he'll give it to me. If I try to say, okay, you do it one more time, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And that's why it's so funny. It's like, you know how people have adoption and stuff like that, and they say, that child is really mine. He is really mine. Because if I'm the same way. If you're nice to me, you can get pretty much anything from my heart. But if you try to come at me with some type of, you know, too much bass in your voice, it's not gonna work. You're gonna get nothing. You're gonna get absolutely nothing. So I just thought that was interesting to say that he's a dog, he's an animal, and that's just how he works. If you I mean, he's little. He's not some big old shepherd or something like that. He's a little dog, but he does not respond well to aggression. You might can get over on him one time or something. You're like, oh, okay, try it again the next time, and you're gonna have a fight. He's gonna fight you. But if you're nice to him and reason with him, like even when it's time for him to go back into his crate, and I tell him, you know, every night it's your bedtime, it's just your bedtime, and this and that. Or if I tell him, okay, you do this now, and we're gonna go for a walk when I come out of the store, he'll go into the crate with no problem. But if I try to force him, it's a fight. He has those little feet. He sticks to. It's like how a baby, how they straighten their legs. He straightens his little legs and he puts those feet out there. I told you yesterday he kicked me in the chest. Child, him and those little feet. He knows how to, you know, he knows what to do. But yeah, if you're nice to him, he will do stuff for you. But if you try to force him to do something, it doesn't work. It does not work. He will square off with you. So, today's a good day. I still have some things to do. But I said, let me stop right here, right now, because I don't know if the energy's going to wear off. So I said, let me make sure I get the video done. I don't like, this is my new thing, is to do it early when I get off work. My music sounds so low. My new thing is to do it when I get off work, because if I wait and do it, like get dressed, what I was doing was, I think I was like getting dressed and everything, and then I would go and make the video. But I was making it the last thing I did instead of the first thing that I did, and it wasn't working. So now it's the first thing that I do. When I get off work, I come to the library and I do the video. And that it makes me feel good. It shapes the rest of my day because I feel like I did the most important thing in my day. And it's like, and so by the time I'm going to work, I can't explain. I wish I could explain to you guys how I really feel. Ooh, emotion. I feel so good about doing this. I really do. There are times when I'm on my way to work and I'm just overjoyed to know that I made my video. And last night I listened to maybe I think I'm up to like 12. I need to catch up on watching the videos or listening to them, because I need to know what I'm really putting out there. But and then I'm a really, 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 really good self-corrector. So that way I know too what adjustments I need. See, he's just as content. He's content. Because I took the pillow and see, it's like with kids, you have to do what you have to do because you know what's best for them. He wants that little pillow back there, but he was just as hot, and it's not that hot. That little pillow keeps him warm. And so he realizes, oh, she took my pillow, but I'm really cool. He's okay. He's not overheated. So he's laying down. He's just fine. But yeah, I had to stop, and it wasn't as busy last night, so at work, so I was able to listen to some of the videos. So I'm up to like 12. And like I said, it helps me to self-correct, to know, because I'm a person, and it's like I said, it's emotion. You gotta feel something when you hear it. You gotta feel something. Maybe something you don't want to hear, maybe something you need to hear, maybe something that makes you laugh. But there's an energy that I want to put out there. And so I need to check my content. So I'm catching up on listening to my videos or programs. Let's say programs, because listening to a video sounds weird. So listening to my programs. And yeah, so everything's good. We're moving on through this. And yeah, so what I was saying is sometimes I just feel so good. I feel so good, like I have just won something. I feel so good, and I don't have, like, just before I started doing this right now, I asked myself, you gonna let me make the video? And he understands what I say to him, and I was excited to do it. I was just happy inside. And I haven't told anybody that I'm doing this. And I don't think I'm supposed to. So it's funny for me to be sharing such intimate things about myself. I mean, people in my life, all kinds of stuff, and nobody knows that I'm doing this. That is just so funny. That's so funny. But yeah, I'm glad that I'm doing this. I'm so glad, and I'm glad to see the development of it. I'm glad to see what it's turning into. I realize, I don't know if you noticed, but I added, because when I did it, it's like, what do you call it? This and that, and this and this and that. And I said the Shelley D. Bridgman show, because what if it develops it into me actually interviewing people? What if it actually, what if it turns into something else? What if it starts off as this and turns into something else? So when I created this, when I chose that title, I wanted to give myself room to do that. Because I had visions and dreams and goals. So that's why I chose the title that I did. But I'm glad, I'm happy, and like I said, I'm gonna listen to those programs and figure out what adjustments I need to make, and to make sure that I'm on the right track. I'm glad that I'm accomplishing getting them done. I'm glad that things are going more smoothly with my uploads. I'm so grateful for that, because that was really stressing me out. But I want to make sure that I'm accomplishing the goal that I set. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm pleased. So can't think of anything in particular that I want to talk to you about this morning. But yeah, that is the one thing that just talking to you that I thought about, was that that interview. Like I said, everything that I look at, I don't care if it's a movie or anything, just anything that I see, I'm looking for a lesson in it. And that was because when I was doing all of this, you know, nobody's telling you, okay, this is how you write a book. This is how you know when you're done. This is how you know when you're supposed to go to the next project. This is how you choose your projects. Nobody tells you that stuff. You just, you just keep going. And so, like I said, I was in the middle of, I don't know if I'd actually started it. You know what? I'm going to share this with you. You know how I got the title of my book? Oh, I know where I was going. How I got the title of my book, My Testimony. When I look online on Amazon, there's all kind of My Testimonies. I'm like, I don't care. How I got the title was I was in North Carolina. I was in North Carolina. So when I left, I'm not going to tell you exactly where I'm from, but when I left home, I lived in a few different states in the U.S. And so the last one that I was in was North Carolina. And so while I was there, I'm like, okay, and I didn't have any plans of coming back to where I'm from. But when I came back with a plan. I knew that I was writing the book. So I came with an agenda. I knew that that was the goal. And so, but the title came to me from T.D. Jakes. I was watching TV and he was talking about something, but he said, I mean, because before I left home, I went to church every Sunday. I went to church on youth night. 70% of my students were there. On youth night, I went on Saturdays. I mean, I was doing my thing. And so, what I learned, and also when he said it, I knew it was true, that the thing that is most impactful, that's why I'm trying to give you details. The thing that is most impactful is when you give your testimony. When you reveal the truth. That's when you really help people. And that's what hit me. And that's when I said, okay, it's my testimony. That's where I got the title from. And so when I was putting this together about what to call it, when I did that first piece 8 years ago, this was called just Shella D. Bridgman. That was the title of the YouTube page or channel. And when I came back here now, 8 years later, I just call it the Shella D. Bridgman Show, because I tell you, I have a vision, and it could be interviewing people. It could be responding to questions. It could be all of that. When I started my podcast, I tried to leave room for that as well, because that's the kind of thing that I really see happening for myself. But I kept trying to figure out, okay, but my testimony, what, how, and this and that and this and that. And so I brought up the book and this and that and this and that. And then when I was having problems with the videos, then I was using the essentially the cover of the book to keep going with doing my videos. And so now I came to, this is Shella D. Bridgman, and this is the Shella D. Bridgman Show. No. And welcome to the Shella D. Bridgman Show, and this is my testimony, because it is my testimony. That's what this is. That's what this is. It's not anything else. That's what I'm giving you every day. I'm giving you my account. I'm giving you my account of, that's all it is. Not that that's insignificant, but that's what it is. I don't have to try to create stuff, content. I don't have to go and try to make something happen. This is my life, and this is what I'm sharing with you. Simply my life. This is my Big Mac. This is my hamburger. Everybody has their own hamburger and recipe. This is my hamburger. This is me doing it my way. So everybody can tell their story, but what makes this so unique and special is because it's mine. It's mine. The significance and relevance of it is that it probably is something that someone can relate to. And that is the value of it. That whatever, if I'm having a day and a half struggle on top of struggle on top of struggle on top of struggle, if I'm trying to accomplish a goal and here comes stuff way out of the blue that sends me to the doctor or this or that just because I have a new goal that I'm trying to accomplish, that's something for you to relate to. But it's my account. It's my testimony. Significance and relevance is that it's something that you can relate to. Come on now. Ooh, I feel so good. So that's it. I don't have to make up something. I don't have to try to, people have to try to, no. There's nothing to make up. This is it. This is me. And like they say, there's only one me. And what does Steve Harvey say? He said somebody wrote in and said something about his English, and he said which one sounds better, I am poor or I'm as rich. Look, don't let me get all tickled by myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about any of that. It's being who you are. Full on, 100% yourself. If you bring that to the table, you win. You win. When you pretend or shortcut it, trying to, maybe you're not polished. Maybe that's not who you are. Maybe you have the southern accent like Tabitha Brown. Maybe when she stopped trying to be Hollywood, that's when she made it. She has a clothing line, a cookware line, a hair care line, everything. When she released the pretense of what Hollywood made her believe she needed to be in order to be successful. When she released all of that is when she became successful. And I know there are different versions of success. Success could be all of your kids have graduated from college. Maybe you didn't yourself, but all of your kids did. That could be your version of success. So come on now, I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? But yeah, she has everything, cookware, hair, everything. She's invited to, she was at the White House. They had some kind of something day for somebody, diversity or something. I don't know, something. People of color, something. I don't know what it was, but she was at the White House. And I just saw where she was given the keys to the city for where she's from, because she's the most successful person from that town. And yeah, so be yourself. I gotta bring up Cardi B. Come on now, people know Cardi B, and that's how she became successful. I don't really know all of her music. I won't say that, but I know that her angle was her uniqueness of the unvarnished presentation is what made her a household name. So, and that's I would say who she is, or she's been consistent with that version of herself. Let's say it that way. She's been consistent. So yeah, find out who you are, be that, be all of that, be full on that, and that's a good start. So yeah, so this is my hamburger. Shella D. Bridgman. Child, if you only knew what that name meant to me, I just really think, I love to hear people say my name. I just love it. I'll tell you one day how I got my name. All right, I'll tell you part of it. My mother was going to name me Accident. She was going to name me Accident. I'm the third of 3 children, and we all have 3 different fathers. We all have different fathers. And my mother was going to name me Accident. Now, just the bit that you know about me, you know I was not an accident. You know that, right? Let me give you a little bit. When I was teaching, like I said, not until I moved away did I really realize that I came from a small town. When I was teaching, this lady came and subbed as a vice principal at my school. And so I was talking to her one day, and my last name. And she was like, "Do you know such and such?" I said, "Yeah, that's my father." She was like, "What?" She leaned back in her seat, like the high back leather chairs, and she leaned back like, "What? Like, that's your father, right?" That alone gave her newfound respect for me. I'm not an accident. Who my parents were, the lives that they lived, created me. The essence of who I am. My strengths and my weaknesses. Which make me uniquely me. So that's just a little bit. But that journey, that the fact that I was married for 30 minutes, like I said, when you know that you were gonna be named Accident, all that kind of stuff helps you to have a 30-minute marriage. It helps you to make that kind of decision for yourself. So that's why you have to walk your journey out. Figure out who you are, number one. Pursue that. Regardless to what anybody thinks. What anybody thinks. I'm going to tell you this bit. Now, this is a secret, right? I haven't told anybody. See, look, I'm just telling you all the secrets, right? So, when I didn't plan on making a long video. Just before I stopped teaching, because I stopped, the school year wasn't even out. I was just done. I was like, I've had enough. I follow the people on these this little teacher group online, and they talk about what it's like and the kids and the politics and all that stuff. And you know how you're in the middle of something, you think it's just you, right? I thought it was just me. Nah, that was 10 years ago, and they're saying stuff today, and that's what I was living 10 years ago about how bad it is. So you can imagine, right? So they're saying all this stuff, but yeah, I was just done. I was like, I can't do this no more. This is crazy. They socially promote kids and everything, right? So just before I stopped teaching, because I was trying to decide, is this what I'm supposed to do? Just quit, right? And that's what's in the book. That whole process, the whole decision-making process of quitting. And so I went by my aunt's house, the one whose class ring that I have. And I went by her house, and she pulled out the obituary of my great aunt, my father's aunt, so my grandmother's sister, her obituary, and she told me the story about her leaving and moving to Africa and opening a mission, and what do you call it, a king, or I don't know what you call him, gave her 500 acres of land and all this stuff right. And so that's when I quit teaching, that's where I was going. I was headed to Africa to go work in mission, and I sent my original birth certificate in, trying to get my passport, but it was a year when they had some kind of requirement change, and everybody sent their passport, was trying to get a passport. They lost my birth certificate and everything, so I didn't get the passport. They didn't end up reopening the mission until like a year later or something like that. But I just I left, and that was when I started traveling and stuff like that. But yeah, she went through this whole stack of obituaries, probably like every funeral she'd ever gone to, and the very last one was this great aunt of mine, and she was I think she was 50 when she did this, so this is like in the 70s when she left and did this and went to Africa and stuff. And so I think it was actually her birthday too. It was like her birthday. I was at her house, and she was sharing this information with me. But it was encouraging to me, because this is why we need to learn about our families, for the better and the worse, so you know what you're up against, what you need to resist. What the man said, he didn't drink because he knew in his line, he knew he was an alcoholic. He had never had a drink because he knew he was an alcoholic. All it took was one sip because of where he came from. And so, for the better and the worse, we need to know where we come from. But when she told me that, I was like, wow, but I ended up talking to her daughter, and she now has some kind of stuff, but she's older. And so I had a private conversation with her on the phone, and she told me, and look, see, this was, people think I'm so something, but here I am telling the whole world my actual personal business. I talked to her daughter on the phone, and she told me that when her mother left and was doing this whole thing, she ended up bringing back a couple kids, and she opened the mission. It's like a whole thing, right? A school and stuff. And so she told me that when her mother did that, and she sold all her stuff, she told me that when her mother did that, she said nobody supported her. And she said, not even me. So that was like between me and her, that I'm like, okay. And so that was something that I put in my pocket, that, okay, whatever you do, nobody may not support you, right? And so that's what I'm saying, that whatever you're going to do, whatever your hamburger is, people may not support you. Your family may not support you, but it's not about them. But that's why you need to know for sure that it is for you to do. It is for you to do. Everybody has something. So this is my hamburger. This is at least the beginning of it. Well, a part of it, because I've done some other stuff, but this is me. This is my hamburger. So, and nobody knows about it. You don't need to know what I'm cooking up over here. So that's it. I'm hot. I'm tired. It's warm, but it's overcast. It's warm, but it's overcast. But I don't feel like turning the heat on and everything. I don't feel like doing all that. And I feel so good, because this man is sitting in this car like not even a foot away from me. He just jammed it in there, right? I don't understand. That's not me. You got like 6 right in front of me, 6 parking spaces open, but he just jammed his little self right up in next to me. And but I'm okay, because you see, I just, without a hitch, I just did my program. I'm gonna stop saying video, because it's not what we traditionally think as a video. I'm gonna say program. I did my program. So continued blessings to everyone. Now he's leaving. Continued blessings to everyone. I'm glad you're here with me. We're on this journey. He's from Texas. So, yeah, that's my story. And it's so funny. I'm gonna say this one more time. If you meet me on the job, I don't talk to anybody. They don't know anything about me. I'm like, I'm a clam. I am a clam, and that's what you would think. That's who I am. But just like in the interview, I told them, I said, maybe one day I'll tell you who I really am. I said that. I kept saying it in the interview. I kept saying that because I meant that. At work, I'm there to get my money. Give me my money. Give me my money. Give me my money. And then I'm over here telling all my little secrets. Because that's who I really am. But it's not for in passing. It's for purpose and intention. Not just because people just want to know stuff. So, wow. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I see. There's a young lady. It's a working lady, if you know what I mean. She's very young, but it's a working lady. She's walking down the street, and her customers right behind her. They're walking together. So yeah, I'm out here, child, out here making the not videos, programs. So today's program is complete. We did it. Longer than I expected it to be, but it is the truth. It is what it is. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you're getting something out of this. I hope you're putting it in your pocket. See what's in your pocket. Nobody knows what's in your pockets. You don't have to tell anybody. And I tell you, it's like the best way to do it. Because you tell people something. It's like I honestly told you about the comments. I don't need to hear. I don't need no comments because I'm trying to get started. Excuse me. I'm trying to get started, and I don't. So when you're trying to develop something, when you're trying to get started, when you have an idea that you feel really good about, you don't. Someone may not encourage you. And people have insecurities. You know what? Like I said, I did temporary work for a long time, and I was working at a motel, not a hotel, a motel. One like, oh my goodness, it was something. And I met this young lady, and she was probably half my age, and she told me this idea that she had about opening a facility to help people, and I was like, it was so amazing. It was so amazing. Like, she had the details of everything. But she said she thought she needed to go to school to learn how to learn something when she already had the details of what she needed. She needed like a building. She knew exactly what the purpose would be, like how she would help the people and everything. But she thought she needed to go to school. And she thought she needed to take classes to learn how to speak. And I was like, girl. And she already had it. She already had it. And so that's what I'm saying. You can't always tell people stuff, because before you can even get the idea off the ground, you're already discouraged. So, all right. I'm going. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Be good. Stay out of trouble. I'm so glad I'm doing this. From my heart to yours. In that quiet, peaceful, and sacred place, I give this to you with love. Talk to you tomorrow.